Are you willing to make the financial investment? Because it's going to cost you something.
100%. Whether it's a coach,
it's going to cost you something.
A book.
It's going to cost you different ingredients for your meals. It's going to cost you a book. It's going to cost you a course, a coach, right? Are you willing? It's going to cost you in different clothes. It's going to cost you maybe in keeping your haircut caught up because you got to film this content and look like something. Are you willing to spend the money? We're so attached to our money that it detaches us from our result.
Say it again.
We are so attached to our money that detaches us from our result.
Wow.
Meaning we're not willing to go in our pocket, take it out, and let our money go to work.
Yeah.
Therefore, we can never get the result because we're attached to how much it costs. Who cares how much it costs? Yeah. If I tell you that I got a course that is $2,500, but it's going to teach you how to make $100,000, is that a fair investment? Should you put your money to work on that? If I tell you that I got a $20 course that will teach you how to make $150, was that a fair investment? It doesn't have to be so big all the time. The result doesn't have to be so massive. We can take baby steps consistently. Babies take baby steps consistently. The moment they learn how to walk, they're taking consistent baby steps. And you're looking at them. You're seeing them pull themselves up. You see them grabbing on the furniture. You're seeing them holding on to whatever they can to take these steps. And before you know it, those baby steps turn into them running around the house. And you're like, when did they go from crawling to take these baby steps to now running around the house? And then you fast forward and you got a grown kid like me who's now driving you around the city. You were just taking baby steps. We don't give ourselves credit for those baby steps. You were just taking the baby step. Take the baby steps. And then one day you're going to be driving yourselves around the city.
Wow. That's deep. And remember that part because that's going to be the clip for Instagram because you got your bag just...
Yeah, you guys. I just put it on Instagram.
Your bag just...
What's in that bag?
So I have a question. So you get these SMART goals, right? So you're specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's realistic, and it's time bound, right? So you get that, right? That's you're doing that, and this is for one thing, right? So let's say right now I'm talking about making $1 million for a vibe called Blessed by March the 7th of 2022, right? $1 million in sales, right? What do you do with the other stuff that you're doing? Because you want to have these SMART goals, right? So like say, for instance, like I know that being an entrepreneur coach is not all that you do. I know that being an entrepreneur coach is not all that you do. There's other things you do. Like, so for me, I do Turo, right? So that has some of my attention. Also, like when I say I'm going down the basement to do nothing, I'm still working on like my tournaments for football. That's bringing in revenue as well. So how do you balance the other things that you're doing while still having your goal, your umbrella goal or your big goal?
Let me tell you what sucks. And this is probably, it really, really sucks. You're going to have to put some things down that you love to do. Because I love to do a couple things, but there's a couple things that you're going to have to either put down that you love to do. You're going to have to put down some things that actually make you money. So you got this big goal for making $1 million in this business. And then you have the football league, right? Where you spend a lot of time in the football league. If you identify, it's going to take hours every single day, 8 hours every day, working on getting to this $1 million. But in the middle of the day, I have football games or practice where it's going to take 3-4 hour block windows. Now we got to ask ourselves a question. It sucks. Trust me. I've done it over and over again, and every time I let go of something that was making me money to focus on something else, that something else grew. Crazy. So in my experience, you're going to have to let go of good to get to great. Like, remember I called you the other day, like, I'm not printing shirts for nobody else, which is a profitable business. And what did I say? Like, you can go collect the money. I don't even want the money that they owe me. Like, there's some people that owe me money right now. You go collect it, you got it. Because I'm moving into focus. I gotta let go of that money. I gotta let go of these other things that I want to do. I used to play basketball every Wednesday, which was amazing. But the best day to podcast is Wednesdays, where I block out time and we'll do like 3, 4, 5 joints. I love playing basketball. And then in my head it says, but I'm risking my health. I need to work out. I need that energy. I need that, but I can't. So that would be my answer. I would definitely love to hear you. Yeah.
It doesn't fit. So you said, that David does multiple things. I do multiple things. I didn't do multiple things first.
For sure.
I didn't do multiple things first. And even in the multiple things that I do, they all align, right? So sometimes we're looking at these multiple things wrong. Sometimes these multiple things are pieces to the whole one big picture, right? Pieces to the whole. I educate entrepreneurs. I do that through coaching. I have a university. I do it through courses. I have a book, right? Sometimes, or pre-pandemic, I was booked often to speak on stage, but it was the one thing. When you hear the name Donni Wiggins, you associate her with business development. I educate entrepreneurs. When you are looking at all these things that you want to do, and I'm just going to be real clear, I tried to at one time do multiple things. I tried to be a business coach because it made sense, right? It was easy for me to do. And then I was also, I got my, not necessarily my start, but I got my recognition start in the network marketing industry. I was building, MLM companies, right? And even down to that decision, my business, so many things that happened over the years. After that Bishop T.D. Jakes MegaFest thing, I had to make a decision. And it took me a couple of years to make that decision. It was like, wow, I'm in demand now as a coach. I want to build this up to, XYZ, whatever the goal was at that time. But I still got this network marketing business. I'm still, I got these people attached to me. These people believe in themselves because they believe in me, at this point. How do I do both? So I tried to convince myself for a whole other year that I could do both. Well, if I build the team up and then just put some leaders in place to manage it for me, then those leaders will hold it down. And it never, ever, ever worked out that way. And it got to the point where I had to make a decision. Network marketing was easy money for me and big impact. So it hurt to say, I'm done. But do I continue to chase that 5 figures, or do I go all in on my potential 6-figure a month idea where my impact doesn't have to be impacted? I still get to impact people, but now on a bigger scale. Now the time that I would have been spending doing 3-way calls and one-on-ones and hotel meetings, I'm here doing the podcast. Well, the podcast has put us in front of millions of people. It's put us in front of millions of people, 100%. Right? Whereas my organization, though those people were very important to me, I was maxed out on that particular level. I had to say, for my sanity, for my mental health, and for really the greater good of the results that I'm able to get, I got to cut something out. It just didn't work, even though I was really good at both. I couldn't do both. Even though I was managing my calendar, I wasn't sleeping. Even though I was impacting people and this feels like a purpose, right? It just doesn't work. You have to choose something, and you have to get really, really, really good at that something. And the really, really, really good is determined by whether or not you reached your goal. Yes or no, really clear. Really clear. Have I reached my goal with the vibe called Blessed? Have you?
No.
Reach the goal?
No.
If you've proven the concept, hear me out on this, you guys. If you've proven the concept and you're on to something that works, reach the goal. Meaning, if you have a t-shirt line and you sold 20 t-shirts to people who were not your family and friends, clear, not your family and friends, 20 strangers, you've proven the concept. Now we can take 20 to 200 to 2,000 to 20,000. We'll reach the goal. If you're creating a coaching and consulting business, somebody has paid you money at the price that you're worth, you've proven the concept. 3 to 5 people pay you money at that price. You've proven the concept. Now we can go to from 3 to 5. We saw that all it takes is 3 to 4 a month to get to $100,000. So if you've proven the concept and someone's paid you 3 to 5, let's rinse and repeat. Do that over and over and over. Achieve the goal. Then through systems and operations and people and procedures, now maybe you can say, I want to do a podcast. Let me tell you also what that's going to do for you. It's going to take you from being somebody who's just trying to figure out how to tell their story, for impact, for somebody who's now able to associate the story with a result. That increases the impact. That increases your podcast views. Increased podcast views increases your advertising dollars. Increased advertising dollars gets you to this $5,000 that you want to make. It's all a cycle. They all have to work together. We're treating our bigger picture like a bunch of different pictures, right? We're treating it like individual pictures inside of individual picture frames when it all needs to go into one photo album.
Yeah. And I would say this is definitely a lot of advice for speaking directly to you as a beginning entrepreneur and other people that are beginning, because eventually you'll be able to put people in place to do other things. So we have the complex. I don't do anything for the complex other than come record this podcast, but Jovan runs it. And we got a group of people who are responsible for the success of this venue or the kiosk at Cumberland Mall. I very rarely go because I have a partnership with my man Jamel. He holds it down. He runs it. He just tells me what shirts we need, what we need to re-up on. So I'm able to kind of delegate that, but the only way I can do that is because I've successfully built something. And that's when people come and they say, yo, I want to be a part of your team. Or you can create some sort of partnerships where you tell them, hey, this is what needs to be done, but I'm out of it. Don't call me for anything. I'm out of it.
I just want to add to that because that's so powerful. So because so many people say, oh, well, you do multiple things. I know you do. Are you the doer or the investor?
Yeah.
Give me some, that was saucy. Yes. There are multiple things that are making us money, but are you the doer or are you the investor? Are you the doer or are you the delegator? Right? And that makes a difference. If you're trying to... The doer. First of all, don't play with me.
I'm putting that right on Instagram right now.
Don't play with me. I'm about to write a post. Hold on, let me... Are you the doer or the delegator? So multiple streams of income doesn't mean that you have to be creating multiple streams of work for yourself. You just don't. It's not multiple jobs, right? Multiple streams of income, that concept wasn't designed for you to go out and get multiple jobs. And even as a CEO, when you're trying to do all these things, the podcast, the this, when you were doing the podcast and you were doing the morning meetup and you were doing the t-shirts, something started to feel like a job.
100%. And that's why I told Jamel, I was like, yo, I can't touch it.
Yeah.
The t-shirts?
Yeah.
I can't touch it.
Something started to feel like a job. So David went from appearing at the kiosk being the doer to partnering with someone strategically and being the delegator. Yeah. Right? And that's so important. Don't work so hard that you're working off of your job just to become a business owner and owning multiple jobs. And going back into that same mindset, like you're now trying to figure out how to take 33% to 33 from here to 33% from B to 33% from C to make 100%. When all you really got to do is go hard on A.
Facts.
And make 100%. And then you got these other ideas that you've written down. Okay, I got A rolling. Now that I've done the work, I'm the doer and I'm able to start delegating some of A. Let me start doing some of B and get that running. And then start delegating B. And if there's a C, this is how you do that, right? So I know for a fact that you invest in real estate, sometimes real estate that you didn't go look at.
Ever.
Somebody goes and look, here, where do I send the wire? Where do I wire the money?
Yep. Shouts out to Terica. She'll send me deals and she's like, these are the numbers. And the way she has it set up is, and we're like, we did a fix and flip, worked out really well. Now we're looking at buy and hold. She finds it, tells me if it's a good deal. And my thing to her is, yo, if you think it's good, let's just do it.
Yeah.
I don't even know how to analyze it really to know if this is a good deal or not. But she's made millions and millions and millions in this space, and she tells me the amount. This one's $30,000. We're gonna put X amount into it. All right, is this the one? Terica, this where we going? She's like, oh yeah, this is it. Let's go.
You don't have to do everything, and the bottom line is, you just won't be successful at doing everything.
That's a fact.
I mean, just look at something as simple as cleaning up a house. When you try to go from the bedroom and do just a little bit in the bedroom and a little bit in the kitchen and a little bit in the bathroom. At the end of it, you've worked for hours and your house still looks a mess.
Yeah.